The biggest pitfall wherein people are happy signing contracts, deciding solution, deciding developer, and waiting for the power to deliver or the project to deliver, despite it is being contracted for 6 months, and it goes up to 24 months or even 36 months, right?
Operating cost we have to reduce by any chance reason. The capital investment is there when we are setting up a new plant. So if in terms of a continuous progress of the company, my operating cost has to be low.
Right.
Second thing,
Let's have quick rapid fire round, and this will be like 2-3 minutes round, and this will cherish our moods and our viewers' moods as well. Are you in for it? Great, I can see it. Okay, solar or wind?
solar.
Most of these customers are commercial and industrial customers. You know, this consume almost 50% of India's energy requirement today, and as per the net zero requirement that Government of India has to reach NET50 by 2030. So this segment, which is commercial industrial segment, Saurabh, welcome to the podcast. How has been your journey in India? When did you start? Which year you started? With how many customers? Where have you reached so far? What are your customers' pain points? Top 5 pain points that they envisage?
If you talk about the journey is quite exciting. We are helping all the sectors currently in India. Uh, if you talk about the numbers of clients we have served, so it will be more than 300, and the majority of the companies which we are working are from the different domains, and the kind of a projects are also very different. So every new project there is a different challenge we have to face, and we are quite ready with the team which we have, and the team is quite strong in terms of their professional experiences, their expertise in the sector. So that really help us growing further. Currently we are operating from 10 offices, and that helps us in giving us services from those nodal locations to across India. So that's quite fascinating, quite helpful for our clients.
Right. So when you are serving these commercial and industrial customers, have you seen that they also have renewable energy as one of their need?
Yes, especially in case of manufacturing, like we are doing a lot of industrial projects. So certain clients in the automotive, they always look for renewable energy as an important area of expertise, and the kind of a support they take from us is also intended towards that direction always. And the good part here is like the team from the clients is also very engaged for these practices. That's very important, and that's helping us to support them in a much better way.
And like when renewable energy is equivalent to paisa. So
Yes.
how does your client see this? Is it only paisa, or is there any other motivation that they have?
See, the point here is when we are doing a project development, certain projects are of greenfield in nature. So in greenfield projects, generally we also have a practices which could be related to the green building. So when you're doing a green building projects, the cost of construction or the capital cost initially is always little higher than the general developments. So that could be at times of 30% higher than the cost. But if you see the life cycle cost of those particular projects, so at the end of the day, it is always better to go for the green building solutions, and that is a sustainable. We have to also think for the next generation to be ready with those practices, and we also need to see that whoever the occupants of those facilities, they should have a better environment to work. So that's really helping, and the clients are quite keen nowadays. If you see the solar as a sector, initial cost of the solar, when in India we were looking forward to adopt that particular renewable source of energy, so the cost was quite higher. Now it has been reduced substantially. The clients are quite keen to adopt those. Only thing is you need to educate them, you have to tell them about the right technology which has to be implemented, and how that technology can be integrated with their existing systems. So that's always important.
David Adamson has served over 300 customers in India, and most of these customers are commercial and industrial customers. You know, this consume almost 50% of India's energy requirement today. And as per the net zero requirement that Government of India has to reach NET50 by 2030. So this segment, which is commercial industrial segment, is very critical for India to reach that journey of RE50 or thus RE100. And you are one of the veterans serving these customers through your construction consulting service. Given you are here today, I just want to know from you so that our viewers can also understand what are the top 5 pain points that these customers, which are commercial and industrial customers, face while embarking on this journey of renewable energy solutions when it is so critical, and also there is a lot of money which gets saved while taking renewable energy solution. Can you throw some light? Can you share, your experience, 5 reasons or 5 pain points of them?
Yes, why not? So, if you talk about the sustainability goals, it's something everyone has to understand first of all. The major challenge is with the clients is that they are unable to identify the sustainable goals from the beginning.
Okay, so the identification of the goals is
Something
not
where-
clear. Okay,
yes.
this is one.
The
Second,
second thing is related to technology adoption. So
okay.
they are not clear with what kind of a technology they should go with.
So what kind of solution they should take,
Correct.
whether it is solar, wind,
Correct.
combination,
Correct.
new solutions which are
Correct.
coming up. Okay, fantastic.
The third is related to the government compliances. The fourth, I would say, the incentives which government is giving. So
Right.
the tax incentives. So there is very little clarity to the clients at times.
Right.
That's the major question which we face from them while discussing about all this. The fourth is related to the a kind of a knowledge that their resources have and
Okay.
the understanding towards the
So the lack of knowledge is
yes.
the fifth pain
So
point.
engaging your own employees is very important for the client. So
Right.
these are the 5 major challenges I would say the client are facing these days.
Okay. You start engaging with commercial and industrial customers at that stage of their project construction itself, which is a very early stage. So, can you advise some of the steps that these commercial and industrial customers should take at the time of construction itself while they're so that they can plan their renewable energy execution in an easier and a smoother way? Do you have any steps in mind?
Right. So generally we always advise our client to go for the feasibility studies of their project.
Okay.
It could also be linked with their location. We call it as a location analysis.
Okay.
Second thing is related to the financial analysis for the project.
Okay.
That has to be a second step after that.
Financial analysis means like the return on investment.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So the third thing is, which is important, related to the maintenance of whatever the technology they are going to adopt.
Okay.
The major challenges the client faces once the project is ready and it's fully functional, the major challenges they face related to the maintenance of the existing
Right,
units.
right.
So there we feel is very important to have a policy in place from the beginning so that they can easily able to cope up with the challenges over the time.
Okay. So like the feasibility, when you say feasibility, it means the feasibility of a particular solution like solar, wind, rooftop, open access. That's
Correct,
what you're talking
correct.
about?
So
Okay.
it could be related to all the areas.
So like Rajasthan has a lot of solar and little bit of wind.
Correct.
Karnataka is high in both solar and wind.
Correct.
Tamil Nadu also has solar and wind. So the point that you're saying, at the time of setting up a project itself, these feasibility
Correct.
analysis can be
Correct.
done so that
Correct.
the journey for them is smoother and easier.
Correct.
You and your organization have been serving commercial and industrial customers across India for quite some time now. So, what are the top 5 parameters that they look at while shortlisting a location or a state or a city to set up a project or an industrial area? Are there any top 5 parameters that you can share? And is renewable energy is one of those parameters?
As we are doing location analysis for a lot of clients, so major factors which we look at is the accessibility of the site,
Right.
the availability of the resources in that area,
Okay.
the infrastructure which is being provided by the authority or the government at
Right.
that particular local. Then the supply chain is one of the important factor for the client,
Okay.
and the local environment
Okay.
that also play a very important role
Okay.
while doing the selections for the client. Right now, if you talk about the renewable energy as a specific subject, yes, some companies look at it, especially the manufacturing.
Okay.
In manufacturing, automotive is one sector where I see a lot of efforts being put by the companies. So that is
So effort means the effort at the start of
at the
the
project,
at
yes.
the,
Even
at the
in the
stage.
existing, even in
Okay.
the existing plants or the manufacturing
Hmm,
units,
hmm, hmm.
they wanted to adopt this particular renewable energy as a source of one of the energy for their production. Then I would say we are still in a growing phase wherein the renewable energy will be in the priority list for the
Hmm.
companies. But yes, now they are
If I say
keen.
top 7, then would renewable energy would be there?
No,
Top
not
10?
yet. Yes.
Okay, got it.
So the companies are look forward towards it, and they are really showing their inclination.
Okay.
But still, the other priority areas are in the picture for them when they to start the business or the manufacturing unit at some new location.
So other than automotive, which other sectors look at the stage of inception itself, when the project is being set up or when the land is being identified, at that stage, what are the other industries? Let's say top 5 industries.
So it's difficult to answer
Hmm.
since there is no such statistics available.
No, this is as
But
per your
yeah,
experience.
so based on our experience, the companies who are into the power sector
Okay.
and they are willing to start their manufacturing unit at some new location, they are always
Where
keen
there is like
since it
lot of
helps.
renewable sources available.
Yes.
Which other sector?
So let's say if some companies into the switch manufacturing or switch gears manufacturing,
Electricals.
electricals.
Okay. What other any other sector?
So apart from that, I would say certain companies who require a standby power supply.
Okay.
It could be related to the food,
Hmm.
FMCG.
Hmm.
So they are also quite
FMCGs,
keen.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But still, the majority, if you talk about in construction, the major player is into the real estate. So in real estate, if you talk about the companies are still looking forward to make some changes in
Hmm.
their the processes and to adapt the renewable source as a one of the USP to sell their product.
Hmm.
So let's say as a home buyer, if I'm going,
Right.
so generally if you go and you buy a house for yourself, you
Hmm.
won't find that anyone is putting emphasis towards the renewable energy as a source to their product or the
जब तक
project.
पैसा नहीं बच रहा तो कोई नहीं करेगा.
Exactly. So in if you see in the GDP, construction industry is something which is contributing 9%.
Right.
However, the real estate is the one of the important sector towards that contribution.
Right.
Now, if they will not bring any change in that, it is
Right.
difficult to get the adaptation towards the renewable as a source of energy for any construction project.
So one of the things that you mentioned is that when these real estate companies are selling their product to the end consumer, so one of the things that they market that it will be serving a green power, etc. Does that catch any kind of premium, or is it like the customer only cares about कि पैसा बच रहा है कि नहीं बच रहा तभी renewable energy है otherwise नहीं है?
See, for the customer, it is important to get their product in hand.
Hmm.
First of all, that's their first priority in Indian market.
Hmm.
So a lot of consumer, if I talk about for the real estate sector, they always face challenges in getting their product delivered in their hand.
Right. So that's
So,
another challenge with
yes.
respect to.
So for them, always a priority is that.
Right.
So far, the market has not reached to that level where the customer is putting a pressure on the developer that I would require so and so in addition to the delivery of the project in time on time. Correct. So that thing will only happen once you fulfill the requirement of the project in terms of the timeline of the delivery, then the quality of the product, then these will be the additional supplements for the customer at the end of the day.
No, I think you're right, because in last 1 year we have got so many inquiries from group housing societies, from their RWAs across Delhi NCR, wherein they want to go for solar solution at their premises, at their roofs, because they are vacant, right? But the only reason for them to go for the renewable energy is just saving the cost, nothing else. So I think the predominant, you're right. I think it's not which is green, which is helping the product sell, but it is the cost saving which is catering to this market.
True.
In a nutshell, what you are saying, there are 5 parameters that commercial industrial customers look at while shortlisting any location, any state, and then there are top 3-4 financial benefits that they look at. And I think one thing, while we interact with customer, one of the important things that they talk about entering any state is the cheaper cost of electricity. right? Wherever bijli sasti hai, right? That's one of the important parameters. And if you see historically also, the states who have flourished in terms of industrialization are like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra, some bit of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan. And if you see the trend in each of these states, one of the common trend that you will find is the cheaper cost of electricity, not from the discom, but from the alternate sources that they buy from power from, like the renewable energy sources which are available in
Right.
these states from last 10-15 years. So that's another biggest driver which is provoking industrialization in the state, in addition to the benefits that you are talking about, which you just summarize along with the policy.
Correct.
So I mean, वो बोलते हैं ना कि सस्ता पानी, सस्ती बिजली, quality बिजली promotes industrialization. And the same thing we are witnessing in states like Uttar Pradesh, which is also driving a lot of towards renewable energy to provide cheaper source of power to
Correct.
the industrial customers.
Anyways, I will obviously going to get attract towards those things. Reason, if my operating cost is getting low just
Right.
because of these
Absolutely.
benefits,
Absolutely.
there is nothing like it.
Right.
So
जहाँ
that's
माल
true.
ज्यादा बिकेगा और कॉस्ट
Correct.
सस्ती होगी, प्रॉफिट ज्यादा होगा, तो
Correct.
अपने आप people will get attracted to you.
Correct.
So that's the another driver
Correct.
which renewable energy provides.
Correct.
So what's your thought on this? What's your take?
So I totally agree to your point. At the same time, as a client, sometimes we have to also look from the other angle. Operating cost we have to reduce by any chance. Reason, the capital investment is there when we are setting up a new plant. So if in terms of a continuous progress of the company, my operating cost has to be low.
Right.
Second thing is, not only this parameter helps, along with this I have to see whether I finding a local resources
Right.
easily in that particular location or not.
Right.
That's very important for me as a company to set up a plant. So these things are there. And not only this, apart from that, I will also see the logistics.
Right.
What are the benefits I'm going to get in terms of keeping my supply chain as minimized as possible and comfortable to me to operate in that region.
Saurabh, in addition to helping your clients in deciding about the location, the construction activities, do you also help them decide about the contractor who can construct that facility? Do you help them in that?
Yes.
Okay.
So we also help them in the entire tendering process.
Okay.
In which the procurement strategy is one of the part.
Okay.
And while identifying the contractors for the project,
right,
we also have a set systems for the pre-qualifications.
Okay.
So we generally see, the kind of an experience the contractor already have in this industry, whether it's gelling up with the kind of a projects we are going up.
Okay.
Second thing is financial stability of the contractor.
Right.
Thirdly, the past experience and the kind of a quality he has delivered to the client.
Right.
And their feedback is also very important when we are doing a pre-qualification.
Okay.
And giving them the consideration in the project. So these are the major things. Apart from that, nowadays it is also important when the industry is in the boom and a lot of projects are going on.
Right.
We have to also see that what kind of a projects are in hand with the existing contractor.
Okay.
Whether his plates are full,
right,
whether he can deliver the kind of a project we are trying to bring him on board, and the availability of their resources are there or not, the quality resources are there, who
right,
will be the team lead from their end for the project. That's also very important.
Right.
Generally, the companies just look for certain important parameters like which I just stated, but it is also important to go a little deep. Who will be the project director, project manager for the project to execute, since that person is going to take a lot of load on his shoulder for
right,
the delivery of the project.
Right.
So till that deep we have to go.
And what about the ROI, the return on investment, the financial benefits while shortlisting a contractor?
See, we are one of the cost management consultants as well. We know the construction project from the beginning, right? So when we are, identifying the contractors and going through with the bidding processes,
right,
we get to know that what is the kind of a bids we are getting,
Right.
and
Right.
whether that cost is really reasonable to what we have budgeted in the beginning.
Okay. Okay.
So we get to know that thing from the beginning, and we also know that whether this cost is really correct to construct this project or not.
Right.
If some contractor is undervaluing just to get the project in
Hmm.
hand,
Hmm.
and lately there is always a challenge of getting it delivered as well.
Right.
If sometimes the project is taken at a very discounted rate,
Right.
they may not able to deliver with the quality standards which we look for. So we
Okay.
have to see from all the checks and balances point of view,
Right.
and we have to then only bring a contractor on board.
Understood. So the reason that I asked you this question is that because these 5 parameters are like very specific, measurable parameters which can be adopted by these commercial and industrial customers to even procure the right renewable energy solution and
Correct.
decide the right solution providers.
Correct.
For example, the credibility, the deliverability, the team, the funding, the cost, etc. that on which that these guys can serve.
Correct.
So I think that is something that is one of the biggest takeaways for us, and can be implemented while procuring the renewable energy solution as well. So you have helped your customer कि यहाँ लगा लो जी project, ठीक है, इससे लगवा लो. What about the delivery of the project, right? Because vendor shortlist हो गया, पैसे advance दे दिए, right? What about the practices, top 5 practices that you provide as a project monitoring service so that the project is delivered on time? In our industry, for example, in renewable energy industry, this is the biggest pitfall wherein people are happy signing contracts, deciding solution, deciding developer, and waiting for the power to deliver or the project to deliver, despite it is being contracted for 6 months, and it goes up to 24 months or even 36 months, right? How do you tackle this challenge? What are the best practices, 5 best practices of project monitoring that you advise to your customers so that they can also learn from this and implement while deciding about the renewable energy projects and its monitoring?
So across the industry, the protocols will remain same. I mean, every project we track from four major protocols, whether it's a time, quality, safety,
Right.
uh, cost.
Hmm.
So these are the four major protocols which every project has to go through.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
so if I talk about what are the processes which we follow, all our processes around these four
Hmm.
protocols only.
Hmm.
So it is important to have a schedule in place from the beginning.
Okay.
So the
So schedule. Okay.
yeah.
Right.
So when we are starting a project,
Hmm.
so the master schedule has to be there, since
Okay.
a lot of interdependencies are there in between the activities,
Hmm.
whether it's related to the civil, whether it's related to the mechanical, electrical, or
Hmm.
plumbing.
Then scheduling. Then after that.
So after the scheduling, it is also important that someone should dedicatedly look at that schedule on the day-to-day basis.
Okay.
So we have to work breakdown for the project. So we generally ask our team to prepare a WBS for the project and then monitor it from the various angles.
How do you tighten it? Like, schedule, someone is on the job to track it. How do you tighten it? Like, the project is on track, not on track. If not on track, what are the things to be plugged in? If on track, how do you appreciate? So, are there any mechanics? Are there any, mantras that you can share that can be followed? Some hacks? I mean, okay, everyone knows about schedule, everyone knows about Gantt chart, but there may be certain secret hacks to, find the loopholes and or appreciate the good things.
Real hack is to get involved in the project.
Okay.
It's important to have a personal involvement in the project.
Okay.
Not only from the project
Personal
managers,
involvement of the project manager.
not only from the project manager,
Hmm.
also from the senior management of the
Okay.
project. So wherever they see there are the challenges, there has to be someone
Hmm.
who can do.
How frequently the senior management should review it?
So in our case, we are always involved in the project.
No, from the commercial industrial perspective.
So from the commercial industry perspective, certain clients leave the project on the PMC directly, and they expect them to deliver it.
Okay.
But certain approvals are always intended, whether it's related to the kind of specifications we have to follow, whether it's the cost of the project, if there are certain escalations or variations are coming.
Hmm.
So for that, the approvals are always important.
What is the second hack?
The other hack
Hmm.
we see is like you should have a dashboard in place.
Okay.
The major areas which we see from all those 4 protocols, as I mentioned, but there is always a contribution drivers for the project.
Okay. And what are those drivers?
So those can be decided based on the scope of work for the project which you have
But
decided.
generally, like based on your experience, project to get delivered on time, XX things to be done. What are top 5 drivers?
Let's say if we are doing a industrial project.
Right.
Let's take
Yeah,
an
industrial
example.
project only.
So the process design is something which is always important.
Okay, what else?
So let's say the process design has to be clear from the beginning to the construction function directly, so that they can deliver the project in and around that.
Okay.
Generally what happen in manufacturing, even though the process design is there, but after little changes, the communication is always a gap from the stakeholders.
So design, communication, what else?
So apart from that, the risk has to be mitigated. I mean, you have to have a risk management system in place.
Okay.
There has to be the human resources management system in place.
What is the other hack? Any other hack? Scheduling, involvement.
So
third is the dashboard. Any other hack?
No, not exactly.
Okay.
It's the every project is different from each other, and so if you talk about the project management practice, it goes around the 10 knowledge areas. So those are the only 10 knowledge areas which you are going to implement in the project.
Okay.
But which knowledge area is important at what stage of a project should be determined by the project director and the project manager involved in the in that delivery. So that's going to be a key.
Right. Saurabh, having served 300 customers, commercial industrial customers across India, and let's say if you are meeting a customer who wants to embark on this journey of renewable energy solution to meet their RE100 goals and save huge amount of money, would you advise them to appoint a renewable energy consultant or expert while taking on this journey, because this is a complex journey? And if yes, what would be your advice in terms of how do they shortlist a relevant and relevant and resonated renewable energy expert?
First of all, I would say yes. Since if you see the capital investment involved in the project is quite high compared to the consulting fees they have to pay for bringing those experts.
So ROI. Okay.
Yes. So it's very important to have experts on board,
right,
to help client from the beginning for the scope definition and defining the complete work breakdown schedule for the project.
Right.
Then to have tender management packages in place, and
right,
then to identify the right contractors, the procurement strategy for the project, then monitoring and controlling the project,
right,
and to ensure that the project is delivered
absolutely,
as per the quality
absolutely,
assurance plan which we have set from the beginning.
Right.
Till the satisfaction of the client, it has to be taken care. So I personally feel that it is important to have experts on board, since the companies doesn't have those experts available as their own resource.
Absolutely.
So they have to have those people on board from the third party, which could be the consulting company,
right,
since the project duration is always for a short time.
Right.
What they will do with those resources after
right,
the project gets
right,
completed.
Right, right.
So it's better to have the consultants and take their advice.
And what is your quick advice on what are the parameters to shortlist them?
So their past experience, the scale of a project they have handled in the
right,
past,
right,
and the kind of a resources are available, the kind of a technologies they are dealing with,
right,
then how sincere and they are in delivery of their project, and
right,
how is the feedback from their existing clients. That also play an important role.
Wonderful. No, I think I totally agree with you. There's the common saying, either you learn from the experts or learn from the experience. Both are important. If you learn from the experience, it's a long journey. Probably will have a bit of pitfalls, but if you learn from the experts, that you have someone who can handhold you in this journey. Sort of lot of technical questions. You must be feeling tired, because I am feeling tired. So let's have quick rapid fire round, and this will be like 2-3 minutes round, and this will cherish our moods and our viewers' moods as well. Finally. Are you in for it? Great, I can see it. Okay, solar or wind?
Solar.
RE100 or cost savings?
RE100.
Okay. And favorite industry or number one industry which is jumping into renewable energy solutions today?
Automotive.
Automotive. Okay. Great. And your least favorite industry which is remaining away from renewable energy solutions?
Real estate.
Real estate. Okay. Number one advice that you give to commercial and industrial customers while shortlisting the right renewable energy solution. One advice. Number one.
Go for feasibility study first.
Okay. Great. Awesome. And number one challenge that CNI or the commercial industrial customer face while going for renewable energy solution?
Funding, I would say.
Funding. Okay. Rank these 5 states in terms of who have a favorite or pleasing renewable energy policy. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, UP in the order of your preference.
Gujarat.
Okay.
Then I would say Tamil Nadu. Then Karnataka.
Okay.
What else was there?
Maharashtra, UP.
Yes, Maharashtra. UP is now
Okay.
very supportive.
Okay.
To
So is it
renewable
who's
energy.
fourth?
So I would say currently UP, but
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
now they are aggressively
Okay.
going up.
Okay, understood. So, one word advice from your end, being the country's leading consultant to a Gen Z, a new generation that we call, while talking about the climate change.
I would say find a mentor first.
Find a mentor first. For
Yes. For giving them a right advice at the right time,
okay,
since they are quite, sometimes they are very freaky about
and
jumping.
one word advice for a 10-year kid who's yet to see the world from the perspective of climate change.
Save water, save energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Some more rapid fire questions on your personal life so that we can know you better.
Okay.
Your biggest inspiration. One word.
So I would say Rabindranath Tagore.
Favorite dessert.
Brownie with vanilla ice cream.
Okay. Motto of life in one sentence.
Be ethical always.
Fantastic. And work from home, work from office. Which one would you choose?
Work from office.
Okay. And e-meeting or physical meeting?
Physical meeting, anytime.
Because you get to wear the full clothes?
No, you get to know more about the client.
Okay. And optimistic or realistic?
Optimistic.
Okay. Not realistic.
See, realistic is something, it's a part of a journey.
Okay. One book that every leader should read.
Who Moved My Cheese?
Okay. Are you an early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
And what do you watch?
Sometimes series,
Okay.
sometimes spend time with my family.
Okay, great. And biggest leadership lesson you have learned from a mistake?
That you keep on doing mistake and learn from that.
Wonderful, fantastic. And what's your preferred way to unwind after a hectic day or work?
To be with friends or a family, going out
Anything
for a
specific?
drive. Going out for a drive.
Going out for a drive. Okay. Thank you so much, Saurabh. That's it from my end. And it's honor to have you here and for giving us so much valuable time, valuable advice to the commercial industrial organization and the people who are watching it. Thank you so much. So this was Saurabh Sharma with me from David Adamson Group, interacting with us on giving advice to commercial and industrial customers on their journey for the renewable energy solution. I hope you found value in this video. I look forward to see you in my next podcast. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.